if the freedom of expression works against justice of others, we need to look very strongly at that freedom of expression. My lady, this case that I'm arguing before you is one of the most important cases in our legal system, because we do not have any case where a podcast or some online broadcasting company needs to be given a responsibility to give a right to reply. It is in this case that we will see whether the court realizes that freedom of expression needs to be balanced with a right to reply. Because also a right to reply, it's still included in the freedom of expression to say you cannot speak about me without me replying. I heard that one of the parties here was given a right to reply, but we were never given a right to reply. Mr. Tababesta was never given a right to reply. If he could have been given and denied it, that was a different case. But nonetheless, no right of reply was given. So also, in so saying and doing, that also affects his right adversely, because he should have a right to reply. So having said that, my lady, we do not expect Netflix to abide with the Broadcasting Commission standards of South Africa, because Netflix is a Netherlands company. But we cannot also allow Netflix to come from Netherlands to violate rights of citizens of this country. Because should we allow this broadcast to proceed, we are simply saying an international company can come and violate the rights of our people. I am sorry to say this, but I will have to say it because it's in my mind. We are also having another Jan van Riebeck coming in a camera form, rather than a gun this time. My lady, I will proceed. When we are dealing now with an issue of a documentary being flighted, we are speaking specifically of saying the damage that Mr. Besta will suffer in this regard is the one that says if he wins a case and he comes out innocent after a trial, where will he live? Who will he talk to? How will the public be viewing him? And what will the media be seeing him as? We are saying, let the trial proceed and end. Whatever that needs to be said, it be said in court. Then it will come out clear into the public. With this documentary, will never oppose it. Let me labor a little bit on harm. It's very important. Irreparable harm. There is a very beautiful case that we have mentioned here on paragraph 43, what we titled this Irreparable Harm, 43.2, the case of Print Media versus Minister of Home Affairs, where Constitutional Court considered whether prior restraints on publication, though classification before distribution, were constitutionally permissible. The court recognized that prior restraint is generally viewed with suspicion in our constitution order. That's paragraph 63. However, the court affirmed that prior restraint may be justified where publication poses demonstrable and substantial risk on prejudice. That cannot be remedied after fact. That cannot be remedied after fact. Paragraph 66. The court stressed that the adequacy of alternative remedies must always be assessed in light of the nature of threatened harm. So, the court stressed that the adequacy of alternative remedies must be always assessed in light of the nature of threatened harm. So, a threatened harm and the alternative remedy. My lady, according to my learned colleague, he says, let's flight this broadcast, 300 million see it, we'll pay Mr. Besta. We would have made our millions. That's what he says, in simple terms. We'll have made money, we'll pay him. That will be a substantial redress. The question I'm having, my lady, what is the price of a man's dignity? How much does a man's dignity worth? 5 million? 3 million? 30 million? That is a question we cannot answer at this stage, because a harm is done. When a harm is done, there is no money that can retract it. He can be given money, drive an expensive car, stay in a beautiful house, but the bottom line is that he has already been labeled an escapee, he has already been labeled a fake death host, he has already been labeled all these things. And that's what the court needs to look into. And my lady, there is somewhere on the papers, I'm not sure which part of the papers of the respondent, but I will speak anyway. I think they are speaking about where they say they cannot postpone this broadcast. It's in their company policy that they can't postpone this. It must proceed. My lady, they have postponed in the past. I will show you. On our answering affidavit, paragraph 44, Netflix history, we title something there, Netflix history of postponements. Number one, in 2014, Netflix postponed and ultimately cancelled Bill Cosby comedy special and Bill Cosby 77 following widespread sexual assault. They did postpone or cancel. In January 2025, Netflix delayed the release of Meghan Markle's lifestyle series, With Love. Meghan, in response to devastating Los Angeles wildfires, explaining that's the show actually, that during 2023, WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes in USA, Netflix postponed multiple films, Damsel, Lift, Players, Spaceman, because the circumstances prevented a responsible release. Finally, in COVID-19 pandemic, Netflix delayed numerous production and stage release schedules worldwide. So, by having said, given 4 or 5 cases that are given of postponement, Netflix does postpone. So even the Tabo Besta, the Beauty and the Beast and the Besta, the Beauty and the Besta documentary can still be postponed for the trial to end. Why is this one is so special that it can be postponed but others were postponed successfully? My lady, let me say this, with a very serious attempt to differ, that you will differ with me perhaps if I say this. The right to freedom of expression must be balanced with the interest of justice. The right to freedom of expression must be balanced with the interest of justice. Having said that, my lady, this becomes the end of my reply.